So my darling husband wears at least one shirt a day. If he's going out in the evening, he changes again. So I'm going to show you how I iron his shirts. So I lay them flat with the collar down on the ironing board. Iron is on quite a hot temperature, and I always start with the collar. Once that's really flat, I then move on to a sleeve. So I lay them with the buttons facing up, and I make sure that it's all nicely flat and positioned before I start ironing, with the seam running along there nice and neatly. And so then I start ironing that on first. Go right up to the seam, the shoulder seam. And then put a nice crease in along there and iron along that little opening there where the little button is. Sometimes he has double cuffs, which he wears with cufflinks. So those need ironing quite carefully, because obviously you turn them back on themselves, so they need to be nice and flat too. So once I've done that on, move on to this one. It's got quite rough all the way it's dry, so I shall iron that first. Make sure that's nice and flat. Iron a second on. Then I pop it on the end of the ironing board, like that, and iron these shoulder panels. On that side, flip it around to the other side. Like that, and then I start on the front. So I always start with the buttons first, and work all the way around. I'll show you what I mean as we go. So I go in between all of the buttons carefully to make sure that those are nice and flat and crease free, right up to there, and then just go on the inside like that. And then I just start moving it round the ironing board. And then I start with the back part next. And again, just making sure as you go that everything's nice and flat and you're not ironing more creases in, because that's a real pain and they're much harder to get out. Shirts often have a vent down the middle of the back, so just iron up there and make sure that's flat too. So as you can see, I'm just working all the way around the shirt, and now the other front panel with the buttonholes. And that's the last bit. Pocket there. All the way down those front buttons. Yeah, that is an iron shirt. You can either pop them on a hanger, but actually Simon likes them in a drawer, so I do the top button up, and then I, just for time, do every other button down the front. and it helps when you fold them keep the shape. So now that is all buttoned up down front and nicely ironed. So I then pop it onto the ironing board like that, straighten it out, make sure those are nice and level there at the front, and then I pop one side in and fold the arm downwards, the other side in, and that arm down, and then I actually fold it into three. So I fold from the cuffs in and then in half, like that. There, beautifully ironed shirt. I actually got my first job at Ralph Lauren as a teenager, and they taught me how to fold the Ralph Lauren way, and it's come in handy now.